Start. The proviso to Section 6A of the Hindu Minority Guardianship Act states provided that the custody of a minor who has not completed the age of 5 years shall ordinarily be with the mother, which is prima facie arbitrary and does not fulfill the criteria laid down for reasonable classification. Thus, it violates Article 14 of the Constitution. Article 14 outlaws discrimination in a general way and guarantees equality before law to all persons and is expressive of Dicey's theory of the rule of law. Article 14 also affords to all the equal protection of laws. This denotes equality of treatment in equal circumstances. It implies that among equals the law should be equal and equally administered, that the like should be treated alike without distinction of race, religion, social status, etc. Thus, it means the right to equal treatment in similar circumstances, both in terms of privileges conferred and liabilities imposed by the laws. There should be no discrimination between one person and another if, as regards the subject matter of the legislation, their position is the same or substantially similar. There can be no doubt that in the early stages, mother is the support that all children need, but in case of a male child, close sustained exposures to the respected male significant other is necessary, since it is through this exposure that the child imbibes his first ideas of gender-based social function. It is now an established fact that there is no preferential need in general but an equal need for both parents for the proper development of the child. There is nothing in the realm of contemporary scientific data to support the presumption underlying the proviso to Section 6A. Furthermore, it has never been held to be detrimental to the child's physical and psychological welfare to be committed to the sole custody of the father. On the contrary, it is at this crucial juncture that the presence of the father becomes indispensable. If nature has ordained the role of the mother to be indispensable to the child in certain regards, then it has certainly not ignored the father. The assumption that a mother's full-time love is needed for the proper care of children is not in conformity with the facts of contemporary society. Moreover, the said proviso is subject to the disqualification under Article 15(1) of the Constitution and is not saved by Article 15(3) of the same. Discrimination as used in Article 15(1) implies an element of unfavorable bias. Article 15(3) postulates a situation for the benefit of women to remove the fetters of centuries of subservience and bring them at par with their male counterparts. Article 15(3) is applied when the woman is apparently not at par with the men. Applying Article 15(3) in today's scenario would undermine a woman's worth by treating her as an unequal. In the existing social scenario concerning child custody. However, the judicial precedent expressly condemns preferential treatment in granting the mother custody of the child. There exist patterns of decisions wherein the courts have sympathized with the mother and, in support of fictitious biological need, have always granted custody to the mother. In the contemporary scenario, it is the man who requires protection under this clause who has been denied equity in a substantially vast majority of cases. Further, the first part of Section 6 of the Act appointing the father as the natural guardian has been withheld down by judicial decisions to such extent that it is now disregarded as being mandatory, thereby resulting in the same almost never being applied in practice. The rationale behind such juridical action has been the furtherance of gender equity, no discrimination on the grounds of sex in the appointment of a natural guardian. The proviso of Section 6A is subject to the same rationale, that is, it arbitrarily, without reasonable cause, makes a discrimination in favor of one gender to the detriment of the other, which may be termed as nothing short of judicial hypocrisy. To strike down one part of the section and leave other part rest standing, especially when the latter suffers from the same ailment as the former. To do so would be to create a glaring lacuna which would necessarily result in arbitrary dispensing of justice.